Kirby is an extremely masterful pillar of video gaming bliss. It's a series that is defined by its simplicity. Even the character is simple. He's a circle with shoes. That's Kirby. It's one of the most consistent series ever created. What I appreciate the most about Kirby is how the developers know and understand what people expect from a Kirby game so they don't fall into the trap of making a bunch of dumb changes and trampling over what works. A lot of developers think they're being smart, innovative, or cutting edge by reinventing the wheel, by fundamentally changing everything that was good about the previous games, and I've seen so many of my favorite series just get destroyed because they don't have the creativity to make new experiences without reinventing the wheel. Being a fan of Paper Mario and Star Fox has been like trying to wrangle a psychotic cat that just wants to claw your face off and eat it. There are things that people loved about the earlier games that they want more of, but instead of doing that, they just used the series as guinea pigs for whatever random coked up gimmick they thought of while they were taking a shit. Kirby is different. Each game stays true enough to the original aesthetic and formula that it never feels like a betrayal. Mostly. What do people like about Kirby? Well, they enjoyed the side-scrolling gameplay, the secrets hidden all over the place, the copy abilities, the atmosphere, and most of all, those moments where it decides to stop being a kid's game and turns into some kind of fucked up horror game. The worst thing I've seen people say about any Kirby game is that games like Squeak Squad or Star Allies are a little uninspired and underwhelming, but rarely do I see people take the piss out of the gameplay, and that's because they get it. They get why people play Kirby, and they don't try to fuck it around too much because that would be a disservice to the fans, and frankly to the game itself. Now you might be asking, how is that any different from something like Call of Duty? And the truth is, at a fundamental level, it's kinda not. Let's be completely honest here, most of us who call the Call of Duty games bad are just annoyed at how they are mostly the same at their base level and basically personify the McDonaldization of the AAA gaming industry. But for the most part, there's nothing explicitly wrong with them on a gameplay level, so why would they try to fundamentally change it, aside from adding new things? That's what Kirby is like, except Kirby doesn't call you the N-word every 2 seconds. I mean, this thing might, but not Kirby. And at the same time, Kirby just has a lot more heart and soul put into it. Every part of the games feel like they were made with the truest and most wholesome of intentions. Mostly. The Kirby series is not known for being difficult. Remember, this is a platformer where you can float indefinitely. So why would anyone enjoy these easy-ass games? Because they're fucking cool, dude. In most games, power-ups are a reward for exploration and are largely a temporary thing which has limits. But what kicks ass about Kirby is that they basically just forgot to do that last part. Any enemy you can see can be eaten alive and have their powers stolen, and these guys are everywhere. They're very easy games, but what makes them fun as hell is that there are just so many things you can turn into. There are just so many powers you can get. And even to this day, I discover new uses for them. And that's one of the coolest things, is how the powers interact with the environment. I think one of my favorite Kirby games is Kirby 64. At a fundamental level, it's fairly similar to most Kirby games, except that now you can combine 2 abilities into one. And some of these transformations are just straight up broken, man. You can even be a fridge. How can you top that? Besides, Kirby isn't all about platforming and killing enemies, as cool as it is. Kirby is about scouring the land for secrets so you can unlock the true ending where you fight the real final boss, who probably looks something like this. But aside from the gameplay, one thing that the Kirby games just absolutely nail has to be the atmosphere. They are a prime example of how atmosphere and aesthetic is way more important than just trying to make things as hyper-realistic as possible. These games are just beautiful. Sometimes it's almost like you're walking around in a painting. And the music is just crazy. Every game is just jam-packed with happy tunes, atmospheric tunes, and triumphant marches. You know, I've just seen far too many instances of game developers not understanding that you can create new experiences without trampling over everything that made your game great in the first place. People love Star Fox for its razor precision and tense action. People love Paper Mario for its story and straightforward yet effective gameplay. People love Banjo-Kazooie for its immediacy and cartoonish charm. And people love Kirby for its simple yet endearing mechanics and its beautiful atmosphere. It's a series that doesn't subtract things that work. It adds things. It knows what works and just tries to do it better each time. And I love this shit.